Hello everyone. Today we are going to start the chapter that comes under physiology, that is digestion and absorption. Here, right from the physiology, you can relate with yourself. So I hope you will get interest in this physiology part. It will be better if we can continue in the class, but as it is not being possible, so let's just start online itself. So first of all, we are going to start the human digestive system. So in this chapter, how many parts actually we have to study, to discuss? Okay, what is the content actually? See, first of all, we have to study the structure of human digestive system. First of all, we need to know what actually all those organs or the systems are present, how they are coordinated with each other, and how all organs perform, how actually all these organs functions to carry out the digestion. Then after that, we need to know the process of digestion, how different parts of our digestive system or alimentary canal will help in digestion, how many enzymes will help in what type of food. Okay, so that is actually coming under the process of digestion. Then after that, we will see, after the process of digestion, we will see the process of absorption, how we will absorb all those food, where all those different kinds of food will be absorbed in which region. Okay, then after that we will see the process of egestion, that means undigested food parts that will be removed outside by the process of egestion. Then after that we will see some disorders of digestive system. That means if we have some type of suppose deficiency of any type of food, either it can be vitamins or the proteins or carbohydrate, then different type of diseases appear in that individual. So these are the disorders where we will see the digestion related disorders, also the food related disorders. If we get less food or less vitamin, less protein, less carbohydrate, what kind of disease we can suffer. So that is actually the whole chapter we need to know. First of all, in rough, I will draw the diagram so that at least you can have this idea that which part we are studying, right? So first of all, the human digestive system will be like that first of all, this is the mouth, buccal cavity. Then from the buccal cavity, there is a space, open space present, that is called as pharynx. After the pharynx, here we have two pipes actually. So one pipe is windpipe, another pipe is the food pipe. So here we will discuss the food pipe. Then this food pipe or also esophagus you can say. So this food pipe will continue to the next part that is present on the left side. This is the stomach, right? So here we have the stomach. From the stomach, the next part will be started, that will be intestine. So this intestine will be divided into two parts. One is the large intestine, another is the small intestine. So here this part I'm drawing is the small intestine. Then small intestine will lead to the next part, that is the large intestine, then the colon, rectum, and then the next part is anus. On either side here we will have two glands which are very much important for the whole process of digestion to carry out. On the right side we have the liver, and here we have the gallbladder. Okay, so here we will have all those ducts. We need to know all those ducts. Then after that, this duct will not open directly into the duodenum, that is the small intestine. Next part, another organ we have which is of dual origin, dual function, that is the pancreas. So here just after the, just behind the stomach, we have the next organ, that is pancreas. So pancreas and the liver, these are the glands which will help in releasing some type of enzymes to carry out the process of digestion. Then yes, on the lining of the whole alimentary canal also we have numbers of cells, exocrine cells or exocrine glands which will produce the enzymes. On the mouth also we have three important salivary glands. Okay, so salivary glands we have to see, three pairs of salivary glands we have. Then along with that, in this region we are also going to have the association with the lymphatic system, that our digestive system is linked with the lymphatic system. That means in this region of the pharynx we have the tonsil. So here we have one ring that is called as Waldes ring. We will see all that different 6 tonsils also. Then after that, in the intestine we have the Peyer's patches and the whole alimentary canal, that is also known as MALT, that is mucosa associated lymphoid tissue, which will release the mucus, which will release the which have the capacity to kill the foreign particles. So that is the simplest diagram I have drawn here. This is the mouth, buccal cavity. On either side we have pharynx. Then yes, after that a common pathway, pharynx we have. On either side we have the digestive one gland, that is the salivary gland. Then a food pipe or the esophagus will start, then lead to stomach, then to the duodenum, that is the first part of the small intestine, then the jejunum, then the ileum, that is the small intestine. After that we have the legs part, that is the large intestine. Large intestine is divided also in the parts like this is ascending colon, this is the transverse colon, this is the descending colon. Then after that we have the sigmoid colon, and after that rectum, where the undigested food part will be remained, and after that this is the anus, through which the undigested food part will be removed outside. Here we have one vestigial organ present, that is called as the appendix. Appendix is believed to have lots of good bacteria which is helping in the process of digestion, but it is properly fully functional in case of the ruminating animals. In case of the ruminating animals, the cellulose will be digested with the help of the bacteria present in the appendix. Appendix will not help in digestion. Bacteria will help in digestion in case of the ruminating animals, which is present in the appendix. Okay, no animal can digest ever cellulose. Cellulose can never be digested. Either you can tell it about the ruminating animal like cow or the goat, or even if it is termites. Termites take the woods, that will also not able to digest the cellulose that is present in the woods or present in the other parts, okay, under the cellulose part that cannot be digested. So it is because of the bacteria. So the bacteria will be present in case of the appendix. Next thing we need to know about the alimentary canal. Alimentary canal is longest in case of the herbivores. In case of omnivores, it is not that long like the herbivores, but it is, yes, it is moderate, it is long also. But in case of the carnivores, it is the shortest. As in case of human, see, in this physiology part we are discussing only about the human. So in this human digestive system, you can see the alimentary canal. It is not that too long, that is not that too short. It's not as long as the herbivores, it is not as too short as the carnivores, as we are the omnivorous animal. If you see the digestive system, we have two complete separate opening. One is the mouth, right? One is the mouth, another is the anus, right? So that's why two complete separate openings are present. So that two separate openings will take the food with the help of the mouth, with the help of the anus we will remove the waste products. So what is that? This is a complete digestive system. Yes, in our embryonic state we develop first of all the anus and then the mouth. So that's why we are coming under the deuterostomic evolutionary line that already we have discussed in the animal kingdom. So yes, that is the digestive system I have drawn already. You have to also practice a number of times, then it will be also easier for you. So first of all, let's just start the first part, that we are going to start with the structure. Okay, so we will first of all start the structure of the human digestive system. First of all, let's just see the alimentary canal, how much the parts are present in the whole alimentary canal, right? So first of all, we have the mouth through which we will ingest the food. Then this mouth will lead to the next part, that is the buccal cavity, right? After the buccal cavity, the next part, this is the common part. What is that? This is the pharynx, right? Then from the pharynx, the food will go to the next part, that is the food pipe. What is that food pipe called? This is the esophagus, right? Then from the esophagus, the next part will be the stomach. From the stomach, that will be the small intestine, but in the small intestine we have the duodenum. Then we will have the jejunum. Then we will have the ileum. Okay, then the food will pass to the next part, that is the large intestine. In the large intestine we have the colon. Under the colon also we have the ascending colon, transverse colon, then descending colon. Then after that the neck, and there is a sigmoid S-shaped column also. This is a sigmoid column. Then after that this is the next part, that is the rectum. Then from the rectum, next part will be the opening, that is called as the anus. So this is the whole alimentary canal or whole digestive tract or the GI tract, gastrointestinal tract. So under that, what we are going to start first of all, we are going to start first of all with the buccal cavity and the mouth, right? So here first part we are going to discuss is this part. This is our first part we are going to start. So first of all, let's just start with the buccal cavity. So what is the buccal cavity? This is our mouth, which is guarded by the lips. Okay, so first of all, let me draw properly so that you can have a proper idea on that. This is the nose, then we have the two lips, then this is the next, this part, then after that the neck. Okay, so here we are going to have the buccal cavity. So this buccal cavity is guarded by how many parts you just see? First of all, this part, this is roof of the buccal cavity, that is called as the palate, right? So this palate is big, it's hard, isn't that? Because of one bone. What is that bone called? This is called as the palatine bone. Remember, our roof of our buccal cavity, if you see with the help of our tongue, this part, that will be the palatine bone. Just after that we have the skin. So this part will be the hard palate, okay, because of the presence of this palatine bone. At one region, if you roll down your tongue towards the beneath posteriorly, then you can see this becomes a little bit soft, because that region we don't have this palatine bone. So this becomes soft, and you can see small dots also. It's not completely smooth, it is rough. If you roll down your tongue, then you can see some small spots are there. So these are actually some type of grooves are there. So these grooves actually will form the soft palate. Wherever you find your small grooves in your same palate, then what we can call it, this is called as the soft palate. And what's the reason why we have the small spots there? You can feel it now. So what is that? That actually is for the gripping of the food, so that we can trap the food for a longer period of time. So that's why we have the soft palate. Now after that, this palate will end somewhere, where it is going to end into a hanging part. All of us, we have seen it that what is that hanging small part is there. If you open your mouth and you see a small part is hanging there, what is that? That is known as the uvula. Why it is hanging? What's the reason? What's the purpose of presence of this uvula? This is very much important, that actually prevent the movement of the food into the respiratory tract. So you see just above that, in this region, what we have, this is the nasal tract, isn't the nasal chamber. So that the food cannot go back to the nasal chamber, so that's why you have the uvula. Suppose you have taken the food, it will push that uvula and it will go like this. Okay, that will block the complete nasal chamber, and the food will not able to go to the nasal tract. Okay, so that's why we are going to have this uvula. Okay, so this is the palate part. Then after that, if you see your first here, this is the two lips that also have the bones. Above we have the maxilla, and lower we have the mandible. Maxilla and mandible, that will form our two jaws. Okay, and on the jaws we have the teeth. Now here you can see this is the tongue present. So this is the tongue. Tongue is attached to a bone. So this is the bone present. So this tongue is attaching to the bone. That bone is called as the hyoid bone. Remember that. Then this tongue posteriorly it is attached to the floor of the buccal cavity by means of a, you can see that one. We have one structure. So what is that called? This is known as one ligamentous structure that is known as frenulum. Okay, remember that this is called as the frenulum. Next one, you can see that on the jaws also what we have the teeth. So here we have the complete rows of teeth, and above also we have the teeth. Yes, so in between the teeth and the lips also we have one space, this space. So what is that space between lips and the teeth present? So here this space. Okay, so what is that space called? You can see this is a space present in between the teeth and the lips, that is called as the vestibule. Okay, so remember that this is the vestibule. The tongue attached to the floor of the buccal cavity by means of the frenulum. Then we have the movable structure, that is the tongue. Tongue have many functions, I will tell you. Next, this tongue is attached to the floor of the buccal cavity by means of the hyoid bone. Then after that, above we have the palate. This palate is having two parts. One is hard palate, another is a soft palate. Why hard palate? Because here we have the bone, that is the palatine bone, and wherever the palatine bone ends, that part will be the soft palate. The soft palate will end into a structure, this is called as the uvula. Uvula will actually go, suppose normally it is present like that. Whenever we swallow the food, it will go and block the respiratory tract so that the food cannot go past to the respiratory tract. So this is the buccal cavity. In the buccal cavity, on this part we are going to have 3 salivary glands also. Salivary glands we are going to see after that. Okay, first of all, this is the buccal cavity. In the buccal cavity, how many parts we have? You see, first part we have the palate, right? Second part, palate means this is the roof. Okay, so this buccal cavity is going to have the palate. We are going to have the teeth. We are going to have the tongue. Okay, so these 3 parts will form the buccal cavity. And yes, here we are also going to have the salivary glands. Okay, right, remember that. So that will form our buccal cavity. So this buccal cavity will have these 4 parts. Okay, what are the 4 parts? Palate, this is the palate. Okay, soft palate and hard palate. This is the hard palate, this is soft palate. Wherever the palate ends, this is called as uvula. Next one is teeth. We have 32 teeth, all this type of teeth also we are going to discuss. Next one, tongue. Tongue is the gustator which can able to take sense the taste of the food. It will help us to speak. Isn't that with the help of the tongue we can properly speak? Then after that, it is also helping in mixing the food with the saliva. So lots of functions the tongue perform. Tongue attached to the floor of the buccal cavity by means of the frenulum. Okay. Tongue is attached posteriorly with a bone that is called as the hyoid bone. Next one, the space between the teeth and the lip, this is called as the vestibule. So remember that, this is important. So this is just the introductory video of the whole digestive system. This is digestion and absorption chapter. I hope you understand the first part. In the next video, we will start with the structure of the teeth. So palate already we have seen. This palate is going to have 2 parts. One is the hard palate and another is the soft palate. So this palate will end in one region that is called as the uvula. What is the function of the uvula? That will block the respiratory tract whenever we swallow food and food is in the buccal cavity, so that the food from the buccal cavity cannot go back to the respiratory tract. That's why we have the hanging region that is called as the uvula. So that's all about the video, introductory video of the digestive system. I hope you understand the introduction of it. You will get more interest whenever we will proceed to the next part. So that's all about the video. That's all about the first part of the digestive system. Thank you.